Hello, how you doing? My name is Robert Foster, and I'm giving you another sighting today of the new tutorial. Sorry about my stutteriness. Okay, today we're gonna learn about character selection screen. This one's a little different from the other ones, a tiny bit. But you go around and select your character. Let's load up. Select this character, load up. It's a crazy character. Press start. Wait till it loads up. And now he's in the scene. Also, we're gonna make a menu with a joystick. Go back to the main menu, select a different character, press start. You got another character. So dynamically, we got a walking system and a sprint system. Very simple, easy to do. Okay, let's get this started. All right. Now, if I was you, I would go to a new scene, create a new scene, which I had already. We are going to create a character. We got also also on top of that, also if you get a chance, download the Infinity Blade Warrior assets, all the characters. They're ready to go to rig. Um, here's all the third person template. This is the first person template. Um, to get the third person template um, stuff, you have to download the mannequin. And the mannequin comes um, from here. Character, my assets. These are all my mannequins. All the mannequins I import. The order to import animation to another animation, all you do is click, right click, and migrate. And it's going to migrate all the assets from the from third person character to that. And then after you've done that, you retarget. Go to my mesh, whatever you got your animation. Go to character, quick enable. You could. Here it is. You could do this because it's gonna do all this. Instead of doing by one, you just click on this and retarget, and it's gonna create all these assets for you. All these assets for you. And you have to create this. The one blend is gonna create all of that for you. And now sometimes if it don't work, you right click and retarget this animation. And you set that retargeting animation from your character. And you go to your skeletal mesh, and let me open it for you and show it. And you go to retargeting management, and it's gonna open all this stuff, and you retarget it. It's a dialog. You retarget it, and press humanoid, and you say pose, whatnot, and you're done. You know what I mean? Pretty simple, pretty easy. It's nothing there to do, so if we already hooked this up already, so now let's get this party movement. So for this tutorial, I made a blueprint. You just right click and create blueprint, create character, and take it from there. What I done is I created several characters. I create this from scratch. You could do from creative from scratch. It's very easy. Or you could drag and drop from assistant. Once again, assistant. If you want to be lazy, you find the mannequin blueprint. These are the meshes. Hold on, the mannequin blueprint. Where's the mannequins at? There's animation, character animations, whatever. Yeah, just create that man blueprint, whatever. I don't know where the blueprint at, but somewhere around here. So for the blueprint, for the character blueprints, it's in here, and this had a third person blueprint on here. So you just take the blueprint, you know what I mean, which you want and whatnot in here, and then these are from the defaults. You could copy paste from another template, but you could make it from scratch. You know what I mean? So you could take a look at these and and create it from scratch. You know what I mean? Or get the third person template, and it's gonna have all these functions for you. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I do the third person and it's copy pasted, have these and copy pasted. I know how to make them from scratch, but sometimes I forget. You know, and these get vector right and left. So let's make the long story short. This is about rope stuff and transforming. We're not gonna get into that. So what I'm gonna do is, so now we got our third person controller. So in a third person controller, we're gonna set our sprint. We set up a sprint system, and we set up a main menu, and the movements are the same. Nothing else is different. So the main menu, I made a function for that. This is the main menu. If it pause, we pause the screen, whatnot. Okay, and let's go to the main menu output. So we got this, of course you could bind whatever, but you could just hit there and hit on begin play, press on begin play, it starts. If we click, unpause the scene, game over and all that stuff. Also I create a joystick, so I made a sequence, I made a custom event called on press. This is just a joystick by get input axes, analog stick state. I've used the Y, and the dead zone 7 back to 0. If it's true, delay a little bit. Now if it's a number by 0, you know what I mean, set the number by and negative by 1. So whatever is negative by 1, and do to int switch. Same here. If it's positive, you know what I mean, go to the int switch, and we just changing the colors and go through the different colors, set up the different colors. After we got that, we go down here. If the on press and the joystick input down, and we get in the start button, you know what I mean, and if it's true, if it selects this, the number select to this, it goes to this 1. You press it, you can unpause it. If you press it, go to another level, and you press it, it quits the game. That's all it is there. So same thing happens to these buttons. There's a tutorial on this by every step, but this is, I just follow along the tutorial from several tutorials I have. So creating from scratch I will not do in this tutorial. Better for me to show you step by step. So this is what I'm showing you by step. We are creating, first of all, before we do all this, we are creating the menu. And I created a menu by using the canvas, using the border. Find a border right there. Drag and drop, set your border to your import to the middle. These are locations. It's weird Then we set our vertical space. This is our vertical space right here. And we set the vertical space from here to here. Then we got a spacer. A spacer is set in the middle of the end. That's a spacer. Then we set a vertical box up and down right here. And we set them to fill and do all this. Mess with these numbers a little bit. Sometimes it might be different. Then we set another spacer in between. Another horizontal block right there. And that's where the start pad's at. Spacer. Horizontal. Spacer. Horizontal and spacer. That's how you make this. You know what I mean? It's the better way. Because everything's locked and you can't move it around. You could do it by, oh, I got slide. This is a better way. I found this technique. It's pretty cool. And it's the end spacer. These are pretty good space bars, you know. And you just go around and set them up, and you just right click, just left click them and see where they are. You know what I mean? So, yeah, these spacers are pretty cool. So, anyways, so we got where we needed to go, right? So let's get this party moving right now. So we design it and we just select the button, start button with a text on there, and make it default, whatever. Name it start. Make sure you name your button so you can organize your buttons. Yeah, it'll be a whole lot of headache if you don't. Okay, we make also very important to make something like this. This called this function you go and find and if I remember correctly, it goes to here, and we creating, let's see, we are creating green service live selecting, let's see, okay, we're creating this game instant class. You click on plus and you create a new one, you name it, and it's going to put it in the slot for you. You have to create it on here. This is saving, nothing will be deleted, everything be saved on the game. You know, everything be saved inside the game. Or if you have servers, you have deleting controllers. You know what I mean? If you have like, if a character die, it takes all this function and save it inside here. And this is a pretty good way where you get the good habit have, you know, there's nothing here, we're just saving variables. It's a good way to save what's your score, your, if the player dies, you know, you have to, you know, if it's deleted and you get all types of issues, you know what I mean. And this is a better way to store your data for your creating, you know, persons or spawn points or whatever. You want to save that and not to keep deleting. You can save that into here and it's always be in there, and then you could get it to each every scene. You had to recast and be deleted, and then you get all types of issues. Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I'm making my beat 'em up game. Okay, so now on to constructing. This is like on begin play. We cast into our save character. So we are getting a game instance and we saving it and we storing it as a variable. Right click, and then we are getting every button on every character. Now here's our, it's a little confusing, but you know, it's tedious a little bit, but we are getting a border, put it in the middle. We getting a unit, we getting a unified unit grid pattern. Unified grid pattern is somewhere in here, and just type it in. Here we go, uniform grid pattern. We got that, and we are setting this up to 10 units, 10 width units on slots. Okay, this is the width instead of the height, you know what I mean, width, height, whatever. Then we get in every button and we just set one button and we just duplicate all these buttons inside. Just copy, paste inside here, and put textures and put text, get the text and all that stuff. And then on top of that, to get these, what I did is a little sheet. I played the game and I just used my snapping tool. I use my snapping tool. You go to here. I use my snipping tool to get the just get the characters. And you know what's character, what's what. I don't feel like going to the game. You didn't drag and drop and all that crap. I just have the characters inside the game and just select them, and it's much easier that way. I just get the thumbnails on each of the characters and what they are and what their names and all that stuff, and to go down individually what their names are. So we got the base, we got the robot, we got the Barbess, we got the warrior, we got the frosty giant, we got the golden, we got the pit, and we got somebody else. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what the hell his name is. Ram, yeah. So and then we gotta start. So open this up. All we are storing the index numbers 1 to what 9 or 7. And we storing that, we saving that, and we load into our character. We getting all actors of class, and we getting this actor custom our function, not custom function. We made a function inside the character. We take a look at that, and we click. Once we click on start, we are getting that indexed, and we are, because we did save back, we saved this our save character, and we getting the index number. We getting the index where we saving our variable from here. This is our variable we saved, and we storing that index number. Now we have that index number, and we load in a level, open level, whatever level name, get the controller, and we using that on set only, game mode only. We setting input mode game only. That's only for that controller only. If you do multiplayer and all that stuff, you gotta set it a different way. Um, let's go back to the character itself. There's a lot of, okay, we like back again. We set our menu inputs. We show you what the inputs are. We get the inputs for test. I put an M. Get the show mouse or cursor true. We get the character controller and show mouse or cursor. A set game pause. The menu be menu, and then add viewport. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. In the sprinting system, we'll show you that later. Okay, so we go to here. We made a custom function, and oh, from the tutorial we changed everything. Okay, here's the little complicated part. We turn this into an array. So we make a variable, and we make the public and the index so we can show it, and we made it into an array. And we got every skeletal mesh, and turn the skeletal mesh to array. We add plus plus and add every skeletal mesh of each character what we want. So we got all the characters in the skeletal mesh, and it's number. We got there's numbers 0 to what 9 characters. So we got actually a mesh, and we got a mesh already here. Our default character here already. So we got our character, and with our index, we got a lot of function. We'll press because the number get, and we get that floater, and we got a getter. Our getter is just getter, and then we got a new mesh. Whatever the number, the index number, and on and our and what's make it confusing when you make your custom function, you could have an input one as 1, and there's just an integer, and we plug that into getter, and then we just call that into our selecting screen. We go back to our selecting screen. We just call that right here. We just call that from here. Get character selection, and we get the index, whatever index number. We store that index number, and whatever that index number, we got that character. In order to read that character, we got to go into a construction script, and all we got, and all we are casting to, is the game on get character construction on the game. Same thing, game instance, save character, and we getting it now. Getting that index where we save to, and we get in that custom function, drag and drop, and we get in the index, and that's it. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Now, pros and cons. You might not work off the back. You might have to test it several times to work it. But now, this is also we are working in version is 4.13.2. I'm having issues with 4.14 slash what 3. I upgraded and I was having weird issues with the controller, so I had to downgrade it for a minute. I don't know what's going on with it. Something wrong with the controllers or something like that. Some weird VIO controllers or some crazy mess. I had to restart and fix it, and then I did it and then restart and set it and said what I had done, what I had done, what I done. So I just say fuck it. I just downgrade it for now until they get fixed. Once they fix the problem, I could upgrade it to whatever. All right. That's what I forget, and I should learn. I should learn my mistakes every time you update from Blender, and you get the current Blender, and the current Blender is not working when you're supposed to be working, or I don't know, I'm being stupid or whatever, or is it me or is it you? I don't know. But anyway, so we got our controller. We got our main controller. Yes, our main controller, our character selection screen, or just using pad. We just using on begin play. Set input mode to UI. Show mouse cursor 0. Set widgets. You know what I'm saying? Set the widget onto that viewport. That's it. And let's get to our. This is pretty simple. A sprinter system is set whatever shift, whatever you want to put as shift, left shift, whatever. And if it's on, it's off. If it's on, we we um, we change our get character mark moving to 600, and if we not, if it's off, we change it to walking. So if you walking, if we're not pressing it, we just walking. And the trick here is my bad. The trick here is we are using it inside animation blueprint. So let's go to our animation blueprint. This is animation blueprint. Yes, I was about to go. Okay, in our animation blueprint, we are getting the controller palm. We are casting to the player, and we are getting whatever it call it on and off, or that we call it sprint system, whatever. Here we go again. It gets stuck. We crash. We get the sprint system. We create a branch, and then that's the branch. If it's true, yeah, if it's true. This is weird. Okay, we set it. We made it create a custom variable, whatever. And if it's true, set our speed and clamp it. That's it. That's it. We setting our speed and we clamp it from to 1 to 400, and that's it. That's all we doing. Everything else is the same. You know what I mean? It's nothing else there, just changing this part, and that's it. And that's it. It's pretty much how you make a sprint system. It's pretty easy, not complex. I want to miss something out. I ain't nothing else to it, so it works off the back. Let's see. We go to here. Let's see. Alright, so we got everything where we want. And now we could just simply just run our game. Click, select any character. Well, it doesn't matter where the kind of character, so you select this character and reload them in the scene. It works off the bat. Our jumping system work. You know, we could run, we could walk, we could run, we could walk. Okay, so show that again. Let's pick this guy. There you go. So yeah, also you wondering how we get to that another level. So, you know, technically pretty simple. Uh let's see if I can find you. Play start. Press F. There's a play start. And we go to the world settings and we set our character to this character. You know what I'm saying? Set it to the character we created. And I just make my own game controller. You just press plus and make your own game controller. And here we got our character recalling, and that's it. Let's save all. That's it. We gonna do. I mean, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. I mean, I got this from a tutorial, and and I made it a little better instead of getting all the skeletal meshes, and I just put it all in an array. I just put all in an array. Now you could get custom different animations. You have different animations for different ones, but that don't make sense because if you add custom animation to different ones, let's say they have if you create a dog, yeah, if you have on the same if you have the same functions, but if you have a different functions on different characters, I would use this just for changing the meshes. You know, but I'm storing a number into somewhere else. I'm storing in a number, and you could create a save game on that, and then you create these classes, the different classes of different ones. The classes for the wizard, you do some magic. The one a fighter, swordsman, gunsman. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Archer. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. A dragon, whatever. A turtle, whatever. And then they have different moves. They have different. The turtle wants he could walk, and he could his powers could manipulate time. So his powers probably slow time. So he could slow villains down. He slow the villains down. So change perspective and change your render settings, and you could just change I mean the villains to slow down. I mean, till the villains are slow down, you run slow too, and I mean, so everybody in your area, the villain slowed down and he slowed down, so y'all both have using slow mo action. You know what I mean? So the rabbit has speed, so you can speed up and you can flip around the character and teleportations and stuff like that. He could have. Swordsman could just be a swordsman. Arrow could be arrow. You can make games out of that. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. You know. Then if you have all those powers, you know what I mean. You could make child of different ones and have different powers on each one of them, and they could call each child of different blueprint, or you could call the blueprint itself with the characters in them, the class of the characters on there, and you just make casts of the different classes characters and then call by this and then switch this on the fly. And if it's multiplayer and they've had whatever number they got different characters. You see them on different characters and they have different powers. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, it's a number of 100,000 ways to do certain things. You know what I mean. And then everybody goes to this character selection screen and they pick their character. I want to be this 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 character. You know what I mean? You store them all in the data. And they have a tutorial like that. Have a character selection on multiplayer. And it's a very good tutorial. I gotta go from the beginning. It's a very good tutorial on multiplayer. You know what I mean? You could do the same with local multiplayer. You know what I mean? You just gotta store things and separate things. Instead of using a mouse on there, you gotta use a joystick. Only thing you use a joystick is this. You know what I mean? But I quit. So thank you, and I appreciate it. Hopefully we can make a game out of this. Make a little tutorial series of a game out of this, a different one. Different. We could do different species of it someday, but we just gonna have the same. Keep it simple, so ever gonna have the same moves. You know what I mean? So ever gonna have the same sword fighting moves. You know what I mean? Ever gonna all the characters gonna have the same sword fighting moves. You know what I mean? We could, technically we could, like I said, we could, say we could store stats and IDs and character meshes or character itself, old character, and they had different animations of different ones, and then they could do different things. So I'm just saying. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Now, technically, if you're gonna do something like that, we gotta cast each into in a mesh and cast of different move cast of different. If it's that guy, we make an array of his movement, and we call up. We make a skeletal mesh. We make a we make a children of that one, and we call upon on those children's on each of his frames, or whatever how you want to do it. There's tons of ways to do it. You make it simpler or harder. We could go that journey if we want to. And I'll probably do it on 114 this version again, and the new version I'll show you what I was talking about, and from scratch, and see how that goes. And we're both gonna go for the crying journey because I don't know why it doesn't work. So this was a test run and works on this version, doesn't work on other version. Let's try. If we can duplicate this and redo it again, so it's gonna work as is this version, but we gotta recreate it on a new version so it can see what we did wrong. So thank you. Bye.